So this is the Vaxee XE V2. It's definitely a mouse, and this might be a short review. And it's not because this mouse is bad or anything like that. Actually, it's pretty good. It's the Vaxee XE, but updated to have some fixes that the XES had, and then some more fixes that I didn't like with the XES, like the function button has been removed, and they've simplified how they display the settings. It's essentially exactly the same thing, it's just new sensor and lighter. That's it. So if you liked the XE or the XES, then I think it's pretty safe to say that you can keep your money if you want to. It's not that big of a difference. You're not going to notice any huge difference between a $39.50 or a $33.95. Or if you do actually want to spend the money and get this, there's nothing here to prevent you from liking it. You can go ahead and spend the money and be happy. For everyone else, I think this is boring as shit, and let me explain why. So Vaxee is basically some former Zowie founders or employees that broke off and made their own mouse company. For the past several years, they've carried that Zowie heritage and innovated upon that. They were doing wireless way before Zowie was, they were doing light mice way before Zowie was, yada yada, you get the point. And in the video I did on the XES last year, I said this. And I really think this is a modernized take on a Zowie philosophy. Their mice are really similar, but I think Vaxee have that slight edge in terms of how they hold up in the 2024 standard. And that was definitely true. And I mean, if you looked at everything Zowie was doing last year, at the time of making this video, it's very obvious that Vaxee was on top, and they definitely had the better mice. But in the years since then, it's not like Zowie has just been asleep at the wheel. Actually, quite the contrary. Because now, in July 2025, we have a wireless version of every shape Zowie has ever put out, complete with 3950s, 4K polling, PTFE skates, lightweights. Zowie has modernized their mice, and now it's not such a slam dunk for Vaxee anymore. Their competition is, well, competing. There are things that Vaxee still does just objectively better, like their scroll wheel is a lot more well put together, it feels better. For anyone who cares, their dongle is like smaller. I know this is something that people complain about with the Zowie stuff. I personally couldn't give a shit, but the Vaxee dongle is smaller. And most of the DW lineup is in the 65 gram region, while the XE V2 is 59 grams, so there's a good 6 gram difference between these two mice. But Zowie makes up for it by having the better coating and the much better shapes, which I think is much more important than the scroll wheel or 6 grams weight saving. So right now, it's basically just choosing which team you care about more, or I guess the shapes you care about more. Because really, I don't see that there's much of a quality difference between these two mice. I mean, when you look at the internals, it's basically, they're identical. So you're really just choosing between the shapes that Zowie offers with the DW lineup or the XE V2. And when it comes down to just the shapes, Zowie takes the W, and it's not even really close. This mouse specifically being the ZA13, just the claw grip goat. The XE doesn't even come close, unfortunately. And that's why this mouse is just kind of boring for me right now. I don't really use a mouse for more than 2 weeks before reviewing it, but I could only bring myself to use this one for about 4 or 5 days before I just started hating it, and that's not fair because it is a really good mouse. Again, now that Zowie is up to snuff, the competition is fierce, and Vaxee isn't winning. The truth also is that I just have much more interesting reviews in the works going on right now. Like I have the G-Wolves Fenris, or whatever this thing's called, this fingertip grip mouse from G-Wolves coming out. That review is being worked on. I have a glass pad review to work on, and the OP1 8K V2 is on the way right now as well, and the Zero Mouse Blade. It's just a lot going on right now, and this just isn't nearly as interesting as any of the other things that I just mentioned. So sorry for any Vaxee fans out there, but it's just not my favorite. I do still recommend it if you're interested or anything like that. I think it's a good buy, but it's not going to blow any socks off or anything like that. But with that being said, it's also not going to massively disappoint you either.